And we are live. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate everyone who is with us. We're sorry Gate City Picker couldn't be live on stream with us. He is in the chat, but as you see, guys, he did get buried in his collection, getting ready to get stuff ready for the auction this Sunday on my channel this week, right?
Right.
So we were on yours this past week. So yeah, this Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are going to have another live sports card auction. And as you see, there are so many cards we are sorting through to get ready for you guys. Paul is hard at work. You know, one of us had to actually crack down and do some work today. So Paul was gracious enough to volunteer to be that guy. So Paul, we appreciate you, my man.
He's literally buried alive in cards.
Yeah. But yeah, I want to say a big what's up to my man Sports Cards Anonymous. I appreciate you being here, man. You guys haven't had a chance to check out his channel. I was just watching one of his videos earlier today. He does some really nice editing, and he has some good knowledge. So check him out if you haven't already. Obviously, my man Gate City Picker. He's the triple OG of the group. He's the tripod of auction. Hey, not a problem, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Grind it out. I could definitely see your channel growing, man. You definitely have all the makings of a very successful channel, especially with the editing that you can do. That really is going to set you apart from a lot of other people, I think.
Yep. Paul says he's working on a deal right now. You know, he's trying to set up a deal.
Nice. So was this a prophetic vision in the background then? That is awesome, man. That's great. Last time he was trying to set up a deal, he came back with tons of PSA slabs. And one of those was one of my favorite cards, that PSA 8 Brad Doherty. Is there any Cavaliers involved in this deal, Paul? Because if so, you piqued my interest.
If so, you might have most of your money back because Pittsburgh will buy all the Cavs.
You know. Dude, that's awesome. 200 autos and relics.
Wow.
That is awesome. Going to be nice.
Auctions, eBay, etc.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be cha-chings left and right. And plus, that's going to be like awesome value for our auctions too. You know that's what's up, man. Keep me posted on that. I'll be curious to see the haul video of, you know, all those cards you get. I'm sure you're probably getting a great deal too, because you always know how to sniff those local card deals out. I need to get on it like you, man. Like, I don't feel like the card deals in our area are as plentiful. Like, you can get them on like Facebook and stuff like that, but I don't see them being like that low under, you know, eBay or anything like that. Have you noticed anything?
I think a lot of the people that I see in our area are people that, you know, are dealers or people that buy like we do, and they'll put up posts of just like big collections, and you get excited like you're going to possibly get a deal and just buy them all, and then next you know they're charging like full eBay for like most of the good stuff or whatever, and it just kind of, you know, turns me off, in other words, because I look for value and I try to buy things that I can acquire more value over time because it's such a player or such, you know, whatever. So, you know what I mean? Like, if I'm not getting a good deal, I'm not going to buy a whole mass of stuff.
I think for me, a lot of times too, is I like to at least know like one or two cards I can make my money back on going into a deal like that, because you never know, like if this collection, you know, is something that all of like the really good cards were picked out of, and it's just like all the base like junk, you know what I mean? Or like junk wax players that like never panned out or whatever. So that's one thing I always kind of look out for, although like it's intriguing anytime like I can get a big box of cards to dig through that I think hasn't been touched in a long time. I always kind of want to get in there and see what's hiding in there. But yeah, dude, I hope that works out really well for you, man. should be pretty profitable, especially
Yeah, I
with
mean,
autos and relics.
if you're able to pick up like, you know, older hoop, hoping to find the Kobe's and the Jordans, even if they're not, you know, rookie Kobe's or Jordans, you can find some inserts and stuff. You can still have some money, you know, there. So that's the kind of stuff that I'm looking for, like vintage. In other words, it's stuff like that where people just really underprice it, don't value it as high. But in all reality, all Kobe stuff's starting to really gain traction and stuff like that, even more and more as we go.
Yeah. Dude, it's just like I was just telling you, for this past auction, I started going through this box right here that I've just had sitting there for weeks, you know, to like set stuff on top of. And I was like, oh, it's just like 80s and 90s cards, you know what I mean? Like nothing really worth digging through. So I just started digging through it the other day because I was bored. I found 12 Jordans in there. And they were all like packed fresh. Like they'd been sitting in that box probably since the 80s and 90s. Like it was insane. Like they were all like 89 through I think like 93 Michael Jordan cards. You know, nothing like super, super valuable, but if graded like a 9 or a 10, could bring back a nice little return. Mac Man's in the house. What is going on, my friend? Great to see you. Glad that you're here. But yeah, I mean, that's just the type of thing that, you never know what you're going to find laying around, and you never know what's going to be, you know, in a bunch of cards that might not look that valuable. So I normally will take a risk if I can get something cheap enough, but I always try to find at least, you know, 1 or 2 cards that I know I kind of make my money back on, you know, to kind of mitigate any kind of risk. But I enjoy sifting through them anyway, so it's just like, that's what's up, Mac Man. Good to hear that, man. Yeah, so Nate, is there any big news that you've been hearing in the market? I know that we kind of touched on one of those grading companies that came out with like $35 being their entry fee or whatnot on Saturday. But didn't you say that you heard of another grading company that came out?
It was called CSG. Didn't really look into that much information on them because they just seem like they're popping up left and right. You know, all over the place, just different grading companies because PSA is so behind and so forth of different companies. So there are companies popping up, but you know, we always talk about all the time, the value isn't going to be there unless some mass takeover or change in the market happens. And you know, especially with the other company that we're talking about, that SGA, like for anybody to use that, it would have to guarantee a higher return than PSA basically to make it even worth talking about.
Yeah, I agree completely. So I'm going to go ahead and share a screen of what these slabs are actually going to look like. Now, CSG, is this the company that is a offshoot of the company that deals mainly in comics currently? They hired like a bunch of Beckett's graders to come in and kind of do stuff for them, what I understand.
I'm not entirely sure. I don't do too much with the Pokemon scene and stuff like that, but I believe so.
Mm-hmm. It seems like a lot of these grading companies are from Florida too. I've noticed, like, out of just the submissions I've sent, 2 of them were based in Florida, and this one's also based in Florida. So that's it's kind of interesting. Another Florida-based grading company.
PSA is out in California.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have other locations too, but you know, when you're submitting the cards or whatever, that's where I send mine, is California. That's the main one for if you send US.
So here's the actual slab, more 3D look.
It almost looks like an SGC slab.
Yeah.
Like it looks like it has that black around it.
Yeah.
People call it the tuxedo.
I think
low in Florida, so that might be a part of the reason why they're starting up down there.
I think one thing here is, if this is the company that is connected to the comics, you know, that very well could be, you know, one that's worth giving a try. I don't know what kind of pricing they're working with. Now, is this also a computer generated grading company as well? Do you know?
Like I said, I didn't really dig into it too much, just for the fact that it's just, they're just popping up left and right, and it's something I currently wouldn't use unless, the market switches. But it could be. I mean, if they're big in the comics and Pokemon, at least for the most part, they have somewhat of a market share. At least their name should be out there some. So it probably has a lot better shot than, like the HGA and other ones.
Yeah.
So at least they have a little bit of a, you could see kind of like their value in the marketplace before they started getting the sports cards, seeing how their stuff holds up versus maybe some other companies and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if this is the same company.
Yeah, look, I mean, it looks like the same one I was looking up or whatever, but like I said, I just didn't really dive super deep into it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure Sports Cards Anonymous. I was thinking CSG was like that offshoot that, a lot of the comic book dealers were using, but I could be wrong in assuming that. Oh yeah, they are. Okay, so they are the world's leading in like authenticating like coins, money, comic books, and that kind of stuff. So this is like their like, I guess, sister company that they established just for sports cards now. Macman says, what happened with Ecom and Beyond? Me and Nate just decided, one day that, we had a bunch of other stuff going on, and going 7 days a week, live shows was just a lot for us. So, we decided to go pre-recorded for a long time, and, now we're doing just sporadic live shows, like maybe once or twice a week. But yeah, we're definitely going to continue collaborating on different live shows. And for any of you guys that are newer to the channel, what he's talking about with Ecom Beyond is Nate and I used to do a morning show, and it would go back and forth every day between my channel and Nate's channel. And if you go on either one of our channels, you'll see a playlist with every single one of those episodes. So if anyone's interested, we talk a lot about eBay, Amazon. We do talk a lot about sports cards on there as well. So some pretty cool stuff on there.
Yeah, some stuff that it would even be relative to the sports stuff, really, honestly. Like anything that we talk about, like pirate ship. Pirate ship is awesome company to use the ship stuff instead of going down to the post office, or sometimes it's even cheaper than eBay, depending on your account and stuff like that. So, and it's free to use. So if you guys are looking for another way to ship and you're not selling on eBay, maybe you're selling on, through PayPal or whatever the case is, you can use pirate ship, and it gives you about the same rates or cheaper than what eBay is charging you for just shipping.
Yeah, just like Extreme was saying here, this is the company that does most of the comic grading and everything like that. And from what I understand, they hired a lot of Beckett's grading people to come in, and that's kind of how they got their grading scale with like the subgrades and, like the 0.5s and all that.
We got Gary and Egg in the house. What up,
What
guys?
up, Gary? Good to see you, man. Got Chachi in the house,
Chachi,
too. Good to see you. What's up, Egg? Good to see you, man.
He wants to know when the best time to sell that James Harden rookie would be. I would wait till the playoffs. I'd wait till the playoffs, and depending on how they look and where they kind of fit in is when I would throw it up. Basically, if you think they're not going to make it to the finals, or they do make it to the finals and possibly lose, just sell. I would sell during the finals, because that's how I got the highest dollar amounts for. I had a Luka 9 I sold. I got $8.99 for. I got my Jamal Murray Tatum rookie. I had from Illusions. I got $2.99. It was a PSA 10. So I mean, I got basically top dollar or even more during that period than before. Just hype and less players playing, so more people focus on those guys. So
yeah, and the great thing about playoff time being a good time to sell is I should be getting my James Harden rookie back from PSA right around that time. So that should be perfect, so long as the team doesn't implode once Kyrie comes back. So it's really going to be the main thing.
That would be the only thing that would worry me and maybe think about maybe selling sooner, is if something would blow up there with, you know, kind of Kyrie coming back and maybe like him and Harden having issues or something. But I mean, from the way that Harden was playing and reacting to like when he made mistakes, like he looks like he's all in, like he's excited to play. So I would definitely wait and hold to the finals, or unless you think that you know, they can do it again, I would just hold it for next year. I mean, you basically want to hold till the hype's at its highest, or you feel that player has gone as far as he went. But even a possible long-term hold. I mean, the guy is probably one of the greatest scorers in the league with his, you know, average and everything. I mean, so I mean, even if he was a long-term hold, he won a couple. If he wins a championship or two, I mean, that might be a 401k type of guy, because those older, there's not that many cards going around.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the pops right here, just on that James Harden card, in a PSA 10, there's only 171, and in a PSA 9, there's only 521.
Right.
And, you know, we can see a nice little jump just since he's kind of gone to the – oh, wait, that's KD, my bad. Harden is blue. Okay, so we can see that he was down and he's coming back up. So I definitely see him going like a little bit higher, especially since he like debuted really hot. But again, like Kyrie Irving is going to be kind of like the wrench. So if you think Kyrie can kind of, you know, hold it together, then, you know, it might be worth the gamble, you know, especially because James Harden hasn't won a championship yet. So, you know, I think that his card value still hasn't seen like that championship love yet. So if you can even get closer, like say they start baking it in kind of like they did with LeBron leading up to the championship last year, because his card values really didn't shoot up after he won because they were kind of already baked into the Lakers winning, you know, kind of once the Clippers and everything went out. So, you know, even if that's the case going into the playoffs, you know what I mean? And like even after maybe the first round, like Brooklyn comes out and just like beats the heck out of like the low ranked seed or whatever, you know what I mean? Boom, that might be a great time to go ahead and, you know, sell off, just like kind of during the bubble, you know, for a lot of these people that cashed in on a lot of those players that kind of just went insane. And then as soon as they were eliminated, their card prices just immediately went back down.
Yeah, as soon as the playoffs hit, it's a buyer's market. Everyone doesn't want to get stuck with the bag. They're scared of what unknowns could be, and they want to put it in something else because the market's jumping in football or whatever sport it will be after that. Well, I guess it would be football for sure, basically, because by the time the finals are over, it'll be right around the start of football, you know, camp and stuff like that. So they'd start buying into football. So that's a lot of times where you see like the markets drop and people panic, but in all reality, just wait till that season starts back up and boom, here the prices are again. So
yeah, definitely. Chachi was saying he pulled a Herbert Red Ice rookie card the other day, sell or hold. Personally, if it was me, I would send it to PSA to get graded, you know, and then hold it for a while, because like I think Herbert's going to be one of the better quarterbacks to come out of this draft. And I think that, you know, you might be having something that could potentially be like what Patrick Mahomes' rookie is right now, you know what I mean, in your possession, or at least what like a Lamar Jackson rookie is in your possession, you know, and that's pretty valuable in the football card market. So even though it's like super hype right now, could be like way more hype, you know, 2-3 years from now.
The red ices are like one of the very short prints too, and the ones that usually go the highest, other than the silver, of course. It's probably as close to the silver price as any other card. So as long as that thing is in good condition and centered, definitely send it to PSA, get it graded, hold that thing, because it's going to just keep shooting up, especially if he has any type of success. Like you see some of these other young quarterbacks that, you know, like Patrick Mahomes, if he wins a championship or whatever, his prices will soar for sure.
We'll see what up to my man Jimmy.
What
old
up?
school flips, dude. I have some Booker, but I don't have like his main Prism card, which is like the one I really want really bad. But like right now, it's just like out of my price range until I make a few 401k moves.
Gary V blew up Devin Booker before I could buy any for a cheaper price, and as soon as he did that, his market went unbelievable. Then they got Chris Paul, and they're playing the way that they are now. So unless you're really going to drop some serious money on that guy, thinking that he can be, the second Luka, in prices or whatever, that would be the only reason I would probably grab him now. There's a lot of guys that you can buy right now that I still think there's tons of room to grow. Just like I picked up Tatum the other day. Like I feel like there's tons of room for him to go. I got his PSA 9 for $230. You know what I mean? It's all in taxes and all. And they usually sell for $300 for the 9, so I got that for $70 under market. Nice. And I don't think he's even had his best basketball shown yet. So
yeah. I want to say what's up to my man Joey Bada Bang 22. You guys don't know Joey. He is a local mailman who sells on eBay, and he also loves the Cleveland Cavaliers, so he's near and dear to my heart. So give my man Joey a follow if you haven't. I'd appreciate that. He's also asking here what's going on with Kevin Porter. So Kevin Porter had gotten a car accident, may have been a DUI involved. He was caught with possession of marijuana and firearm, and he may or may not have punched a woman in the face. So he's like kind of suspended for personal reasons for like the entire season, last I heard at least. So that's probably why you haven't seen him this year or heard too much of him. Even when the Cavaliers, anyone in the front office is asked, they basically just say, that's a family matter. We don't really talk about what's going on with Kevin type thing. So there's not a whole lot of information, as to like what's going on with him. But in my opinion, like I was just telling my buddy Marty this the other day, Kevin Porter right now reminds me of like a young Josh Gordon of basketball, like a guy who like literally could be a stud, like the next emerging guy, but like he's an idiot at the same time. So I'm hoping that Kevin Porter kind of gets whatever issues he has going on, like taken care of, and he can kind of get it together because dude has so much talent. Like he would have never fallen all the way to the last pick of the first round if he, hadn't had prior issues, in USC and everything as well. So kind of hoping that he gets it together because like I was telling Nate, like I'm probably a little more heavily invested in Kevin Porter than most people just because I'm a huge Cavs fan. And just because I knew that he was underpriced with his value, I went out and bought a lot of his stuff already pre-graded and like really nice variants and colorways. And, then he does this and it's like, okay, well, now I couldn't even sell it to break even if I wanted to.
Chachi said that his Herbert's a tad off-centered. Even if it's a little off-centered, PSA has a kind of a scale, like if it's 55-45, I believe it is. Left to right, you can still get a 10, but if it's not, it's going to be a 9 candidate. But even at a 9, it's still going to be pretty valuable just because there's not that many of those red ices around.
Do you mean the Prism draft or like Prism basketball from like last year?
I was talking about.
Oh no,
I was talking about Herbert.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
I was just responding to the comment.
Oh, okay.
Because it was a little while back, and I just wanted to make sure I could address it. What up, Cajun? Good to see you, my man.
What's up, Cajun? I'm going to go drop a link to our Facebook group in case anyone isn't over there. You can get in contact with us, drop questions, sell cards. I mean, it's really the place to be to basically do anything sports card related. If you want to get into PSA submissions with me, we do those as well. I try to do it for a super community friendly price. So this way, you know, you're not paying $25 a card and someone just going to put it in a card saver and send it away. I look at it and check it out and everything like that. Make sure it's in good shape because I want you guys to get good grades on cards.
Yeah, he saved me some on that already. You know, just in this last submission, he pulled 4 cards that I missed, and I'm pretty meticulous with like what I send. We'll also be doing another GMA submission sometime soon. If anyone has any cards they're interested in getting graded, I was super surprised with them last time. It literally took them a week from the time they received it for it to show up on my porch. So I was like really happy with their service. Yeah, I'm still waiting to sell off the slabs I got from GMA. So I'm not going to like go gung ho, like sending in like 100 cards right now. But if anyone's interested in that, like we'll be putting more details in the Facebook group for that as well.
So I was looking at Kevin Porter's prices just to kind of see how hard they fell and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I mean, they've definitely fallen, you know, before the season, but when the season came back around, they're actually right around what they were, probably right around the end of the bubble for the finals and stuff like that. So I think him still being on the Cavs and not totally getting kicked off, it's kind of saved his prices, but it also might put you in a spot where you might want to see what you have invested and maybe try to either break even or maybe just cash out because of the unknown of him even playing or whatever. So you don't want to get stuck with too much of the bag, as people like to call it, the money and stuff like that. And if you do have a lot of Kevin Porter, so I mean, it's just a thing you got to figure out if he's going to come back, and you have you have hope in him coming back and playing and stuff like that. So, but if he's getting released, like Asian saw reports saying he was released, I'd probably go ahead and start dumping his stuff maybe.
Oh yeah, I didn't hear anything about him getting released. I hope he doesn't, because like I said, I think he has a lot of potential. Like as far as talent wise, like you know how much I love Sexland. I think KPJ might have a little bit more potential, like long term. But the problem is he needs to get it together, like mentally, emotionally. You know what I mean? Like that. You know, he has all the tools on the court. It's just like off the court. You know, if he can keep it together off the court, he could stay on the court and really show, you know, his truest potential. But it's a shame, man. Like I hate seeing guys like that who like God gifted them with the ability that, you know, all of us would love to have, but you know, because of X, Y, or Z in their life, they just can't take advantage of the opportunity they've been given, you know. So hoping that Occasion shared a link here. Let me go ahead and take a look at that. They're looking to trade or waive Kevin Porter. Dang. After outburst. Okay. Let's take a look at that. I'll share that on screen for you guys. Good looking out, Occasion.
It says that they picked up the option on his contract last month for 1 year, 1.7 left on his deal. So at least like he's still signed under them and everything. They even picked up his option. So I would say hopefully they were going to trade him versus just drop him.
Yeah. I mean, dude has value. I don't understand why you would just get rid of him.
He says that in the report it says a grand jury declined to indict Porter on a felony weapons charge after he was able to prove that he didn't know the gun was in the car. So I mean that's definitely a big charge that he doesn't have to worry about. So just think if Kevin Porter was on the team right now playing, and you know, with Garland and Sexton playing pretty decent this year, you know, you got 3 young guys plus Jared Allen and Drummond, maybe a little Kevin Love sprinkled in there. That's not a bad team, you know what I mean? So, but with him not there, they're missing that third scorer, that third piece.
Yeah. That's a shame, man. That kid has like so many tools too.
Yeah,
They would just get it together.
That'd be a great place for him to go. Is Miami. Miami has a great culture. Jimmy Butler could potentially put him under his wing and kind of guide the young kid to make better choices and decisions, because these pro teams, they don't care if you got charges and stuff going on. They want you to be on the court and be like in trouble or away from the court for anything negative, and it hurts their brand. It hurts kind of the team culture in a little bit too. So teams won't put up with it. So I mean, the kid could really lose out on having play in the NBA and make millions of dollars and have success.
That's the Herbert that Chachi pulled right there. Dude, you still probably got a little bit of an outside chance to get a 10 on that. I'd say maybe a 9, but yeah, I mean that looks pretty nice, man.
I think I could potentially be on the cusp of a 10.
I don't think it's that OC to, unless it's just a really flattering angle you took. Well, I guess we probably could take a look at the surface a little bit too. Since we're in here.
The surface looks clean from what I see, but I mean, you need a lighting shot.
Yeah, definitely.
To be able to see the overall surface.
Yeah, like this right here is something I would kind of look at with light and maybe like brush too. Just a little speck there. But
yeah, that's probably just
speck there. It's probably just a little piece of dirt or something, or
just kind of how the cards are out of the pack. They come like that, a little bit of dust, like card dust or whatever from it being cut.
I mean, it doesn't look that badly OC though to me, in my opinion. Check top to bottom a little bit better. I mean, top to bottom doesn't look bad at all. It's just a little left to right.
I think you might be in good shape.
Yeah, man, I would totally grade that. Absolutely.
Cajun said send Porter Jr. to NOLA.
I mean, you guys got some nice young talent. I think we can work something out. Just don't be sending us no smelly melly. But if you do send us smelly melly, I'm probably set because I have like every one of his cards because, of course, that's like the guy I pull like nonstop in every product.
Man, unless the like the Pelicans want to trade Bledsoe or somebody like that for a guy like that, that'd be the only way I'd probably trade him. Get the money off the books. Get rid of that two guard situation or 2-point guard situation that they're running. Seeing the Walker was playing good. He had 37 points a couple days ago.
Yep. I figured he would be good just because like of his stock. He is cousins with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And it's almost kind of like the Watt effect, you know what I mean? Like where you can kind of just look at a guy, because coming out like TJ Watt wasn't like, yeah, he was a first round pick, but he wasn't like they weren't like, yeah, he's going to become TJ Watt, like what he is now. You know what I mean? They were like, yeah, he's JJ Watt's brother, but he's not like as good as JJ Watt type thing. You know what I mean? Whereas like I could kind of just look at TJ Watt and be like, this dude's going to be a stud. Like, just look at him. You know what I mean? Look at the way he plays the game. He's going to fit in the NFL and he's going to be dominant just because we've seen his brother, who's a similar stock, come up and be dominant, and that's kind of like the same way I looked at Nickeil Alexander-Walker coming out of the draft. Like, okay, well, we've already kind of seen, what his cousin, Shai can do. You know what I mean? And, his game's not identical or anything like that, but there are some similarities I could definitely see, in just the way that they carry themselves as ball players that would transfer. So I'm glad to see some of that coming out in him.
One of the main things that worry teams probably coming out of college to the pros is work ethic. Like, are they going to work out? Do they really love the game? Do they care about the game? And getting a player like TJ Watt, where he has a brother like JJ, who's already been through the league, has shown him what it takes to be what he is. I knew that part of it I was never worried about. It was basically like him just translating his game from tight end to outside linebacker, because he was a tight end when he first went to, I think it
DN, you mean? defensive end, right?
Or was he? I don't know. I thought he was outside linebacker for Wisconsin.
Oh, well, maybe he was. Yeah,
I thought he played the 3-4 like we do. So I wasn't worried about him. I was just happy we got the pick and the guy. I knew he would have a high motor, high, good locker room guy. So I knew he would be a fit. It just was, does he have what it takes to be that type of pass rusher? You know what I mean? So, and he definitely is, man. I think he had the most sacks in the league this year. So Steelers hopefully need to sign him long term.
Yeah, that would be amazing. He's definitely one of them guys that can kind of anchor a defense, I think. Yeah, 80s basketball is absolutely on a tear. That's been kind of one of my investment strategies as of late is I kind of want to take some of the younger guys that I'm getting, get them graded, hopefully get them nice chunky PSA 10 profits and start moving my personal 401k into more vintage stuff. Like I said in the beginning of the year, like one of my bucket list goals for 2021 is I want to be able to get at least like a PSA 9 Magic Johnson, Larry Bird rookie, the 81 tops, or is it 80 tops? One of the two, either 80 or 81 tops with like the 3 card. But yeah, I would love to start moving a little bit more into some of the GOATs. Because I got a really nice young player core, and I do got some LeBron, I've got some Kobe, you know what I mean? And I've got some guys that I grew up with in like the 80s and 90s, but as far as like true vintage basketball, like Lou Sendors, guys like that, I don't have a whole lot in regards to their stuff in the 401k yet.
Yeah, Magic's rookie year was 79.80.
Yeah, they didn't come out on their rookie card though till like a year or two later.
You'll see some of these sets like the 86 Flair and some of that start getting momentum like that because of the Jordan cards and stuff like that. So, people are priced out of the Jordan, so they're looking at the other guys. So, just make sure you have the right set of those cards. Because, like, I picked up a couple different ones and, like, different guys or whatever. And, like, I got this Tim Duncan, which I sold today on eBay for 45. I bought it for 20. It's a stadium club card, but it's like the draft card, so it's not going to get as much love as it would if it was like, say, like a Topps or Topps Chrome, which I just picked up his Topps paper raw the other day, and this thing should get a 10.
Nice.
The thing is centered really nice. Maybe a little bit top bottom, maybe a little bit, but for the most part, I think that thing will grade out nice.
So Jimmy was asking, he says he has an Elway rookie that he can see is not centered. Should he get it graded? I would, especially because most of those cards in that age range aren't very well centered. So the main thing, like I would just make sure there's like no creases. If it has nice looking corners too, like that would be, another giveaway because you figure centering, like if it's poorly centered, it's probably going to drop you down from a 10 to a 9 right away. So you just want to try to make sure the rest of the card looks pretty decent. Craig says if it's not centered, get a paper cutter. Actually some people do that, and then they'll try to send them in to get, like PSA 10s or whatever. And a lot of times the grading companies will actually reject the card, or it'll, put that it's been cut or tampered with or altered in some way. But they actually, believe it or not, they'll measure it to be the exact measurements. Yeah, Jimmy, definitely send it in, man. I would.
Send me a picture of it, Jimmy, and I'll give a real quick look at it, because if it's going to grade a 9 or 10, it'll be definitely worth grading, because his 9s are in like the $400 range all day, maybe 500. If it's a 10, we're looking at 5,000, 5,500. What his last PSA 10s were selling for. So, but the 8s are only going for like $100, which if you're sending in bulk, you get an 8, you're still making a little bit of money, regardless if you would sell it at some point. But cards from before, like Beckett and PSA started coming around, like the 8s, the 7s. It's not as bad for than like the modern cards, because everyone wants the 10s. They're always, 9s and 10s of all the cards are mostly what grades these cards get when they get sent off, because people know basically what to look out for the most part. But you do see some people that send in cards and somehow he gets a PSA 1. I saw that on the new cards and I'm like, how is that possible? How did that get a 1? Did a dog bite it and they send it in because it's a Luca number to 99, but it has like a chew mark in it? Like, and they thought there'd be some value no matter what, just because the Luca number to 99. I mean,
you never know. I mean, like, because what does a PSA 1 Michael Jordan rookie go for? So it might have some value eventually, should Luca get up into that, Jordan range. So, I mean, who knows? But yeah, I mean, that would still be a really tough card for me to grade, something that's in that bad a shape. Because if it's a PSA 1, you should theoretically know it's a PSA 1. Or, I mean, you should know it's not gradable. You know what I mean? You should at least know it's not gradable. AB, what up, man? Yeah, I did see your DM, man. I've been waiting to see you go live so I could pop in and pick up one of those break spots from you. So, yeah, man, put me down for one. If you need the money up front, you can feel free to send me an invoice. My email's down in the description. Just, I don't know if you know how to do that on PayPal. If you don't, you can just let me know how much it is, and I'll send you enough to get into that football break.
So I looked up Michael Jordan's A6 Fleer. His BGS 7, which is the lowest market mover, shows it's selling for right now $4,000. $4,200 was the last sell, and it jumped from Halloween. It was $3,500 or $3,300 to all the way up to $42,000. So it went up about $1,000 from if you'd have bought it on Halloween night. For whatever reason, it was super low. But I'm sure no matter what, the Jordan 1, it's going to be worth the grade regardless, just because it's that iconic card of Jordan and everyone can afford that. So people will pick it up just to have it as a showpiece or whatever. It doesn't matter the grade. They just have a Jordan rookie.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I know a guy that has Kareem, like Lou Alcindor rookie card, and it's in like terrible condition, but he sent it in to get slabbed just so it wouldn't like get any worse. And he knew that sending it in, it was going to come back a terrible grade. Like it might be a 3 or something like that. Like it's nothing like, I mean, true vintage, like you could get away with like a 5 or a 6, like being really good. Like a 9 or a 10 isn't like modern stuff, but like, on a card like that you just want to keep, like there's definitely nothing wrong with getting that slabbed up just to kind of preserve it. Well, yeah, I definitely appreciate each and every one of you guys being here today. If you guys could, make sure you subscribe to Nate's channel, because we're going to be going live on his channel Saturday for live sports card hobby talk. So if you guys have any questions in regards to like PSA submissions or anything like that, we'll be talking about some different stuff over on his channel this Saturday. And then on Sunday, we're going to be going live on my channel again for our sports card auction, and we're gonna have tons of awesome deals. I have a lot of slabs that we could go through if you guys are interested in that. Jimmy just sent some pictures, so we're gonna actually take a look at this Elway too real quick before we go off, and we'll actually get your guys' opinion on it too.
And also, one fun fact: Saturday when we go live on my channel, it's my birthday, so come hang out with me on my birthday.
We may or may not have a cake that he may emerge out of.
Where's Dan when we need him?
Dan can definitely make that happen. Did you get the message on from Uncle B?
Yeah, 1 second. Here, I'll share it.
There's Nate's link, guys, for anybody that's not subscribed to him. If you want to go check out his channel,
it's actually not that bad off centered. I mean, like it is,
for an old card. That's pretty good for an old card.
I think it might get a 9. That could be You know, I mean, that's just me
Blow
looking
it
at
up
the
a little.
setting.
Just scroll your mouse thing on it. Should make it bigger.
No, it doesn't. Hold on, let me try something.
Oh, never mind. I was gonna say I thought I saw a plus there.
Let me save the image and then I can pop it up. Then maybe I can do that. Let me share now. Share. Okay, it's up.
There we go.
I mean, I would say it's in that probably that 60-40-9 range.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, it's definitely uncentered, but I don't think it's horribly done. I mean,
Corners don't look too bad either.
No, the corners look clean.
With like the naked eye.
Yeah, the corners look clean.
I mean, even like an Elway like 8, like that's probably still going to be semi valuable. Let me look that up on eBay real quick.
His 8s are about $100 a piece.
Okay,
that's why I was pulling up on Market Movers.
Okay, that's even better. I never think to go and just comp on Market Movers where I can actually see everything in like fluidity.
Yeah, I use Market Movers for like everything possible. It's just so much easier. It's just quicker.
Yeah, I probably should have done that. I could have literally pulled all of his cards at the same time.
Yeah, the corners and stuff look super clean. So I mean,
yeah, that looks crispy on the back too.
As long as the corners are good. I mean, of course, you see the off-centerness a little more on the back, but like the front is what they mostly go by. You know what I mean? Like for centering and stuff like that. I think it got a shot for a 9.
Yeah, I do too.
I mean, that's also me not looking at the. It's almost impossible to look at a older card for surface stuff without having it in front of me because it's not going to be glossy like all the cards that you see today were a little bit light and you can just turn it and kind of see the scratches or anything like that. But Jimmy, if you're looking at it, just like get one of your like lights for when you record and stuff like that when you're home or you're doing like your photos and just put it in the light and just go side to side with it and see if there's any major scratches. But if you had that since '89, chances are that thing is going to be crispy just because you had it for so long.
Definitely.
But yeah, that could be an easy, couple grand. Easy.
Yep. And a lot of times with the older cards, they don't grade OC as hard as they do like the newer stuff. Like they're very strict with the new stuff because it's like now, like they should have it together. You know what I mean? Because like they have machines that can automatically do the stuff now. So like the fact that they still put out stuff that's like super badly miscentered even today is just like, in my opinion, like that's just like that's atrocious. But yeah, should you guys have any players or anything like that you'd be interested in us bringing for you this Sunday, please do me a favor, leave a comment down below with like any players, teams, even, if you're looking for sealed wax, slabs, any of those type of things. So that way we can prepare and hopefully go unbury Paul so he can participate with us this weekend.
Buried alive.
So I definitely appreciate each and every one of you guys being here. And again, if you haven't joined that Facebook group, make sure you go head over there and, participate. There's a lot of cool people there. And I've already made several trades through the group. And I know there's a lot of guys that are pretty active in there. So definitely go over there, post some stuff you have for sale, or just get to know a few people, off of the internet. Well, I guess still on the internet, but off of YouTube, I should say. But guys, we appreciate you, and we'll see you later. God bless.